Modi, all of us in the audience could not be more proud that you're with us tonight. You are an amazing ambassador for your country and what's possible in the world. And by being in our country, showing what's possible between our countries, showing what's possible between businesses in India and the US, and now in Silicon Valley, as every company becomes a technology or digital company, you send a message to the world on what's possible. I was asked to talk about the network or the internet. My parents were both doctors, but they taught me early on in life, education was the equalizer in life, but you had to be in the right country, the right state, the right city to really be able to benefit the full opportunity it gave you. With the internet in Cisco 20 years ago, we said the internet is now the second equalizer in life. And it suddenly began to break down the barriers, not perfectly, but in a large facet has had more impact on businesses and government than any technology advancement we've ever done. And now we're on the cusp of what we call, you can call it the next generation of the internet, you can call it digitization, you can call it the internet of everything. But as technology combines with process change, with innovation, it truly, for the first time, has the potential to change the world. I was deeply honored when I was asked to be chairman of the United States-India Business Council. And while I was tremendously humbled by that, my first reaction was, is this what I want to do at this point in my life? And then I thought how wrong that was. Because what we do at Cisco, while we're a far from perfect company, we get transitions right. And there are three huge transitions going on in the world at the present time. The first is one that really this technology will enable every company to become a technology company in ways that many of my peers will probably talk about tonight. The second is the business models and the skill sets needed for this new economy are changing with tremendous speed, and you have to be able to change education in a country, you have to be able to adjust the business models, the regulations which allow that to occur. And the third, whether it's in a city, a company, or a country, you have to have a visionary leader who surrounds themselves with a team that can execute with tremendous speed. And when I thought about that, to be a small part of that as chairman of the U.S.-India Business Council, it was something I could not resist, because I believe you will change the world and change India. For those of you who are doubters and say this is a vision and it won't happen, I want you to go back to the information age, which literally occurred from 1990 to 2010. And President Clinton, even though he came from a different political party than mine, he envisioned a strategy that could change a country and then the world. And during his 8 years of leadership, 22 million jobs, 18% growth in GDP, 17% growth in real per capita income by the average person in America. This will be an instant replay, except it will be 5 to 10 times the size. And it's the exact same principles that really drive it through. Our cut on this just 5 years ago was $19 trillion, the size of the U.S. economy in a decade. That's 1 to 3% growth of every country in the world GDP-wise, ongoing for a decade. But it now looks like that number is going to be too conservative. And when you travel around the world, Mr. Prime Minister, you had the vision ahead of many of your peers. But when you talk to Chancellor Merkel in Germany, or Cameron in the UK, or Hollande in France, or Renzi in Italy, the leaders there understand that every country has the potential to go 1 to 3% in GDP. They have the chance to generate a large number of jobs, but for the first time for them to be inclusive jobs for everyone in the country, regardless of age or geographic location. It will change healthcare and education in a way we're just beginning to dream. It will usher in a new generation of startups and capabilities that truly will make an innovative India and an innovative world. It will be able to do so at the same time of addressing the challenges such as our environment. And so now you see a race for who's going to move the fastest, who's going to have the courage to move with that type of capability, and the willingness not just to do the technology, which will be the easy part, but the process and the organization and structure changes to do the innovation. If you look to the Prime Minister's vision and you begin to think what is possible in terms of what I just talked about, it is amazing how quickly that can occur. Now I'm going to say something that will make a lot of businesses in this room uncomfortable. Whether you're in the US or India or Europe, 40% of us won't be around in 10 years. This is a period whether you better disrupt or you're going to be disrupted. True of companies regardless of the size of countries. And you've got to have the courage to go knowing there'll be bumps along the way. So when you look at Prime Minister Modi's vision of a digital India, a manufacturer in India using this inflection point that is occurring, what we do very well at Cisco is see that inflection point occur, and you compete not against other countries or other companies, you compete against your ability to innovate and the ability to skill in India, not 1 million jobs a year, but 1 million jobs new incremental a month. Think about how this gives you the vehicle with digital manufacturing that would not have been there before to make in India. 100 smart cities, 240,000 villages. Your vision, I believe, will happen. It takes a country and a leader that has the courage to do that. It also takes, going back to my opening comments, you have to get the market transitions or the tipping points right. This digital age is now upon us. So the technology transition is there. Second, you have to see the business models and the skills that employees need to participate in this new economy. So it isn't dependent upon which city you're in or which state or which country. And then you've got to have a charismatic leader who has the courage to make the changes, who knows at times they'll be second-guessed, that is willing to disrupt or be disrupted and can take those tremendous ideas in a simplistic way and bring it to life. It's an honor, Mr. Prime Minister, for you to be here in Silicon Valley. We within USIBC will be there for you. I think Silicon Valley will be there for you, and I think the United States and India will be very strong together because of your leadership. Thank you.
It's almost surreal for me to step back and internalize all of this. Growing up, I still remember when my family, after many years of waiting, we were one of the few lucky families to get a rotary phone. It was a big event in our neighborhood.